Hi there, what is up? And welcome back to another episode of the Relationship Schools podcast. Jason Gaddis, your host here. Grateful to be here, getting a little time with you. Thanks for, plugging me in on the commute, the morning workout, the evening wind down, whatever you do however you listen. So I appreciate it. Thanks for sharing with your friends too, and thanks for leaving reviews. This podcast is all about love, partnership, relationship. How do we navigate the difficult stuff and come out stronger on the other side together as a team? Yeah. So we have all kinds of people here, experts, couples. I talk, my wife and I talk. There's a lot of great content, I believe, here. Some of you have gotten so much value, you've left us reviews. Thank you. Like Sweetie Girl. She says, useful info. This podcast is one of the good ones. There's a lot of unreliable content out there for people trying to learn more about personal growth, improve relationship skills, heal trauma, get sober, etc. And it can be daunting to sort through it all in order to find quality information. This is a top-notch podcast for anyone. The content's always delivered in an empathic but direct way, which is really important to me. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, Sweetie Girl, thank you for the kind words, and I'm glad this is serving you. Yeah, there's a lot of noise out there. And for those of you who have somehow found this podcast, thanks. I think we're unique. I think what we're doing here is pretty special. So yeah, thanks. If you want to leave a review like Sweetie Girl, swipe up on your phone on Apple Podcasts, for example. You can just leave us 5 stars, and it would be awesome if you could leave us a sentence or two about what your favorite episode is or what you've got out of this, how it's changed your life. Okay? It's a small thing to ask for, given 300 plus episodes for free coming at you. Okay, thanks guys. Appreciate it. All right, in this episode, this is for the single folks. I don't do many episodes for single folks because that's not the world I'm living in. We have we have interviewed some dating coaches here. If you go back in time, I thought there were some good episodes there, dating tips. I'm not a dating coach, so that's my disclaimer today. And I work with a lot of single people, and a lot of our students here at the Relationship School are single and looking to just improve themselves and how they do connection, communication, conflict. So I get enough kind of requests that I thought I'd just record this short one. All right, and I'm going to talk about the 3 biggest myths for you single people out there that you buy into. All right, there's a lot of myths about single folks, and somehow you guys believe these types of messages. All right, I'm going to cover those myths, and I'm going to offer you a few suggestions, and I'm going to offer you some really dumb dating advice, okay? Because I'm not a dating expert. But I like my dumb dating advice. I think it's actually quite good, right? But some people have called that's just really dumb or simplistic. So I'm going to stand in that. Yeah, it's dumb, simplistic, cool. And it's still my advice, and I'm standing by it. Okay, so stay tuned to the end for that, and I've got an action step as always. Remember, we are enrolling right now for our Accepted and Connected event on conflict. If you're the type of person who is shut down, distanced, and you don't know how to repair after a conflict, and you just kind of get quiet and you hope it gets better a couple days later, you still have a lot to learn. And if you're, you have humility if you say, yeah, that's me, I do that. You have courage if you go get help. And you say, enough. I'm tired of my habits and patterns of blame or blaming myself or shutting down or whatever I do in conflict that keeps getting me the results I'm getting. And you take action. Okay? If that's you, you ought to come to our Relationship School Accepted and Connected event. It's a 2-day virtual workshop. You can be anywhere in the world. We had about 200 people from all over the world come join us last spring. If you missed that, now is your chance. relationshipschool.com/connected if you want to find out more, and I'll say more in a little bit. Okay, single folks. Here we go. Where is my document? Got a couple notes here. All right. The first biggest myth that single people believe is I'm too blank. I'm too blank. Let's fill in the blanks, okay? I'm too big. I'm too small. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm too picky. I'm too needy, sensitive, emotional, inexperienced. The list goes on. The list goes on. I'm too much, basically. I'm too whatever. You feel free to fill in the blank. If you've believed one of these, write this down. Just write down I'm too, and then fill in the blank. What's your story? Okay, it's just a story, and it's not true. Someone might have actually told you that, and you believed it, and it's like, oh, no, it's true because that mean bully in middle school told me that. That doesn't mean it's true, guys. That means someone one time called you a name or labeled you or something, an ex-partner, a parent, and you decided to agree with it, okay, which is your part of that dynamic. Yeah, it's not cool that they called you that name or made fun of you or made you wrong. That sucks. That hurts. And it's what you do with it that matters. Okay, so if I tell myself I'm too big, small, old, young, picky, needy, sensitive, to whatever, and I believe that, guess what I'm going to draw into my life? A person who thinks I am that over time, or a person who tries to tell me I'm not that because I feel insecure. So our work is always here, guys, as people, single people or partner, doesn't matter, is to believe in ourselves and embrace ourselves with our faults and continue to respect ourselves, treat ourselves in a good way, right? That's myth number one. Myth number two is I'm not blank enough. So the first one was I'm too much. The second one's I'm not enough. And then fill in this blank, write it down. I'm not blank, fill in the blank, enough. Here's a couple of examples from our community members. I'm not disciplined enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not attractive enough. I'm not brave enough. I'm not lucky enough. I'm not extroverted enough. I'm not introverted enough. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not enough. Okay, these are called limiting beliefs, guys, in case you're not familiar with that term. Limiting beliefs. And you probably intellectually know this. You're nodding your head right now. Yeah, I've bought into that one. And you know it's maybe not even true, but you continue to run that tape. I'm not enough. This often comes from external authorities when we were younger, telling us we weren't good enough, fast enough, smart enough, rich enough, attractive enough, lucky enough. Whatever it was, we got probably some message that, again, we bought into, which is our part. So be aware of how you've bought into some of these messages, all right? And I think they are bullshit-ski, okay? Just my opinion. If I met you and we got to know each other, I would probably see that they are also not true. Yeah, no, that doesn't seem true. I'm getting to know you and you seem like a pretty awesome person to me. Yes, you're neurotic like me. Yes, you have issues like me. But so what? We all do. I'm not blank enough. Yeah. Myth number two. Whew. Okay, breathing into that one. Noticing if you have bought that, hook, line, and sinker. And let's move on to myth number three. There's not enough good blank in the world. So write that down. There's not enough blank in the world. Okay, now you're judging the other people as not enough. So maybe you felt judged as not enough. Now you're judging other people. There's not enough good men in the world. There's not enough good women in the world. There's not enough good people in the world. Another version of this is all the good ones are taken. Well, at my age, it's getting kind of, I'm in my 50s now, so all the good ones are taken. Oh, right. Okay, good point. Yeah, there's almost 8 billion people on the planet. All the good ones are married. Yeah, they're partnered already. So that means every other single person on the planet isn't good enough for you and sucks. And now you're back in the seat of judging them as too much or not enough. See that? Yeah. There's not enough good blank in the world. Okay, I think this is bullshit because of how many people are in the world. Maybe you live in a small town and you're telling yourself this story. Or maybe you live in a big city and you're telling yourself this story. It doesn't matter. It's a story, and I'm guessing I'm going to put a lot of money on this one that it's just not true. Okay, that's the third myth. Now, when we tell ourselves these types of stories, we cut ourselves out from under, we cut our potential and who we are out from under ourselves, and we're showing ourselves disrespect and disregard. And we're not trusting life in a big way. And I want to encourage you to work on yourself such that you believe in yourself. We talk in the deeper course, the DPIR 9-month training course, a lot about, there's a whole class on self-worth, all right? And the essence of the class is you can't just love yourself, as I've talked about. You can't just like yourself more. You actually have to put in some work, some effort to appreciate yourself. So if you feel insecure in some part of your life, you either work to accept it or you work to change it. And I, as a human being, I have a lot of flaws, and there's a lot I like about myself. And I'm on this path of self-acceptance and self-mastery. So we talk again about this in our DPIR 9-month training. How do we really do that? It's a practice, and it does require some effort and some diligence. And if you find yourself not doing that, you're invested, perhaps unconsciously, maybe somewhat consciously, into your negative story about yourself. Too much, not enough. It's possible you're actually getting something out of that. You get to stay alone. You get to stay unhappy. You get to stay a victim to it's someone else's fault, or yeah, it's my fault because I'm such a loser. Guys, none of that's true. You are worthy of love and respect and care like everyone else. You might have made some mistakes, done some stupid shit in your life, been hard on yourself at times. That's okay. You're still worthy of love and respect. You still are. In this moment, you're lovable just as you are. As one of my poems says, you're lovable just as you are. Yes, even you. That's true. Okay, I got a spoken word poem coming up here soon on this exact issue. All right. Okay, here's your action step today. And this is going to require some courage, right? You've got to admit where you're at by saying, yes, I tell myself this story, this type of story. I probably didn't get it perfectly because you all have your unique little tweak you would make to these 3 myths, but write down which one's true, where you, or not true that you have that belief about yourself. All right. Write it down on a piece of paper. And the next time you're interacting with your friend on Zoom, FaceTime, or in person, hold that up to them and their face and say, this is what I believe about myself. And watch what your friend does. And this is instructive for a couple of reasons. One is your friend's either going to laugh, they're going to feel empathy, they're going to feel sad, they're going to be like, whoa, dude, I can't, you're saying what about yourself? Seriously? I don't agree with that. Maybe they're going to say that. Maybe they say, yeah, I see you do that all the time. Anyway, you're awesome, and throw that piece of paper away. Maybe they try to fix you or change the subject. Anyway, it's going to tell you a lot about the kind of friend you're with, right? And you can even provide a disclaimer. You hold it up to their face and say, look, don't make fun of me, please, is my request. This is extremely vulnerable for me. I've never taken a risk like this with you, but here's my sign. Check it out. And hold it up so they can read it. And then say, read it out loud if you want. Okay, turn up the heat, or you read it out loud. I believe that I'm too needy and too sensitive to attract a good person into my life. I believe that. Okay, we always start with where we are, which is this is what you got to start with where you are. You're believing some BS about yourself, all right? You get outside yourself and you get in touch with a good friend, and hopefully they're going to treat you with respect during this exercise. And again, it's telling, because this is, here comes the action step. So that's the action step part 1. This is the action step part 2, is the reason we're doing this is so that you have the courage to be yourself, which is my dumb relationship advice. Okay, be yourself. Be you, warts and all, and find out if the person that you're dating or want to date or want to ask out is going to reject you. And I guarantee you, Sometimes you're going to be rejected. But it doesn't mean the story is true. It just means that person wasn't a good fit for you. That's all it means. And you weeded them out because you showed who you actually are, which is, yeah, sometimes I feel insecure. Yeah, I'm studying relationships. I listen to this kind of podcast. I sometimes don't believe in myself, but I'm working on it. Sometimes I feel alone and I cry and I get depressed. What about you? You're being you. You're being yourself. And if you lead with the truth, you're going to attract someone who can handle who you actually are. I'm not saying you have to bare your soul on date one, but if you feel safe enough, given your radar system, take a risk. See what happens. Okay? Plan on being rejected, folks. Single people, the game is, I will be rejected. I will be. Expect it. Stop expecting everybody to just accept you as you are. It's just not, that's not life. Look at your own experience. That's not life, right? Okay, so that's my bad relationship advice that I think is sound, and I'm sticking to it, which is be you. A lot of dating coaches will say, that's the dumbest advice. You need actually to do things. That's probably true, but I think this is really good advice, personally. It takes courage to be oneself. It does. And it becomes a beautiful filter to filter out the people you don't want in your life and bring in the people you do want in your life. It's one way, right? Okay, awesome. I want to thank all the community people that I'm in texting with. If you want to text me and you live in the US, you can text me at 720-704-4850, and I will respond to you. I'm having fun with this new platform. It's called Community. It's an app. And you can text me directly right on my phone, and I will text you back. Yeah. And a lot of single folks chimed in on this one. So Ashley, Diane, Brigitte, Stella, Laura. Anyway, thank you, and many others. Thanks for responding. Okay, 720-704-4850. Now, if you want to learn to upgrade your conflict chops, listen to this amazing person talk about their experience here at Accepted and Connected. Okay, go to relationshipschool.com/connected. If you don't want to learn, if you're not going to learn how to do conflict now, when are you going to do that? By when? Okay. I think we have a stellar, incredible 2-day workshop for you where you can learn right from home. Okay. So sign up. Probably an early bird deal going on right now. Bring a friend for $100. Okay, guys, stay uniquely you, and stay connected, and we'll talk soon. Hey, thanks so much for listening. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Share one of these videos with a friend. We want to help the planet get their act together around relationships, and you are one of them, so thank you.